Attention Buffalo businesses. Did you know that underwriting could get you noticed and recognized from people all throughout the local region? For only a fraction of the cost of what you would pay for commercial radio airtime, 91.3 FM WBNY has been an integral part of the Buffalo community since 1982. But did you know that we are a non-for-profit student-ran organization? And for us to maintain our daily operations, WBNY counts on the student activity fee here at Buffalo State, as well as the contributions from you, the local businesses. For more information, contact the WBNY underwriter at 716-878-3080 or by email at wbnyuwd@gmail.com. And thanks as always for listening to Buffalo's original alternative, 91.3 FM WBNY.
Little ham and eggs coming at you. Hold on, people. Hope you got your griddles.
91.3 FM WBNY, Buffalo's original alternative. Brought to you by the student activity fee here at Buffalo State College.
Making music, that's what that is.
This is All Talk Monday, WBNY's public affairs programming that airs Monday mornings till midnight. The views expressed in all the various All Talk Monday shows are not necessarily those of WBNY, the United Students Government at Buffalo State, or Buffalo State itself. Due to the opinionated nature of these programs, listener discretion is highly advised. If you have any questions or comments about All Talk Monday, you can direct them to WBNY's All Talk Monday, 1300 Elmwood Avenue, Buffalo, New York, 14222. For more information, check out our website at wbny.buffalostate.edu. Or you may give us a call at the station at 716-878-5104.
Hey, Aqualung!
And take part in all the various All Talk Monday shows.
Hey, listen to 91.3 WBNY, Buffalo's original alternative since 1982, brought to you by the Buffalo State College Student Activity Fee. And we are here for December's Suzapalooza.
Yeah, it's time. Woo, am I on?
Yes.
I turned myself 2 down. There I am. Can you hear me, Matt?
Perfect.
Awesome. Great. So we're back. Merry Christmas, everybody, or whatever it is to you. I hope that it's happy and well and that you're in awesome health and that you're smiling and appreciating all the many wondrous things that there is to appreciate. I know I appreciate waking up on this side of the soil. I like to be here. It's a great life. And I hope you choose to see it that way, too. So we have a great show today. I'm tweaking the format of the show somewhat. I'm not going to be completely band focused anymore. And what I've always wanted to do is promote, what's good in the BLO. So what's good in Western New York besides, on top of, in addition to my beloved musician friends. But we always will have music because you gotta. So today's show we have Matt Walter. He's the COO of Oogie Games. Oogie! And then we have Chuck DiLiberto. He's an Intuit, and that's going to be a wild interview. And then our musical guest is Gwendolyn Bork, and she's with the band The Red Revolution. So we have a wonderful, action-packed, informative show for you today. Shout out if you're listening, my coworker Tony, and Kristen if you're listening, and Scotty if you're listening. All right. So we have Matt Walker in studio with us right now. Oh, where's my sound effect machine? How's it going, Matt?
It's doing great, thanks. Am I supposed to be doing sound effects? I missed that part. You didn't tell me about that.
I have my little sound effect machine.
All I know is the Oogie, and you already did that. You did quite well, actually.
It was
the Oogie
off
howl.
key, though.
Oh, there's no such thing as off key for the Oogie howl. That was great.
Do you do that?
I do, yeah. I record all the commercials. The founder and owner, Kevin McMullen, has been great about just kind of letting me loose with those commercials. And some are sometimes my humor comes through, and sometimes it falls completely flat. But no matter what, you always have the Oogie howl at the end.
Yeah, that's nice. It's a nice little trademark, if you will.
We figure it's better than huge.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Here we go.
Everything's better than huge.
Big time. Couldn't agree more.
And it's fun to be back at Buff State. I got to say, I'm a Buff State grad. Go Bengals. And it's been a lot of fun. I actually got into campus a little bit early and managed to walk around a little bit. And we had all sorts of nicknames for BSC when I went here, and you can make them up yourself. But it's impressive. They've done a heck of a job around here.
Very nice. So let's talk about Oogie Games.
Absolutely.
How long has it been in existence?
Oogie's been around about 7 some odd years. Actually, the founder, Kevin, also went to school at Buff State, so kind of cool.
Oh wow! Hey, cool.
And when he graduated from Buff State, he basically the way I always tell the story. Now I don't guarantee this is 100% accurate, but the way I've always heard the story, the way I've always understood the story, was when he was going to school here at Buff State, he was trying to impress a girl here on campus.
Go figure.
Who I will, I'll keep her out of it. I won't say her name, but trying to impress the girl. And her birthday was coming up, and she said what she really wanted for Christmas was to go retro, one of these old Nintendos. That was really cool. This goes back 10 years or so ago when they were really hot, the retro stuff. And the problem was that they were selling for like $150. He couldn't afford them. He was a poor college student. So he was wandering around the Super Flea on Walden Avenue.
Missed that.
And saw a
me
whole
too.
pile of old Nintendo sitting there. And asked the guy what was up. He said, "Oh, they're all broke." He's like, "I'll give them to you for $5 a piece or $10 a piece. It's just for parts. There's no good." So he took them home, took them all apart, started putting them all back together with different pieces, and got one to work.
Oh boy!
So he was pretty pumped. Yeah, he was like, "This is gonna work out pretty good. Gonna land the girl." The problem was he started telling his buddies about how he did this, and they're like, "Hey, I'll give you $100 for it." So he sold it to his buddy.
Wow.
Went back to Superfleet, bought some more, kept doing it, and all his buddies kept buying them. Never gave one to the girl. Never got the girl. But what was funny was he started discovering that he had kind of a knack for repairing this stuff. And so he basically bought a booth or bought a table at the Superfleet and said, basically, I'll fix anything. Computers, Nintendos, Segas, whatever you got. And he started with one little table, and his business got to be really busy. Got a second little table until he had an actual little booth, and he was basically just doing repairs. And in his little booth there at the Superfleet. And the one day a guy came in to pick up his computer and didn't have any cash. And said, "Look, can I just give you some Xbox games? Like it's like $30. I'll give you these 5 Xbox games if you give me my computer back." And Kev's like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." So he took the Xbox games, and by the end of the day, he had sold them all for like double or triple what he had got. He's like, "This is pretty cool." So next day, he had a sign up saying, now taking in trades, and he started doing trades with that, and basically gone ever since. He had a little shop up on Kenmore Avenue, Delaware Avenue in Kenmore. And really teeny, about the size of our little studio here. Opened that up and was rocking and rolling, and outgrew it, moved on to a spot up on in Tonawanda where we still are now, on Sheridan Drive in Eggert. And, and that's kind of, and from there we grew and grew and grew.
Wow. Isn't that awesome? Right out of Buff State, too. That's
It's a love
sweet.
story, but no
It
love.
is, yeah, but he didn't get the girl.
He's doing just fine.
But he got the business.
if his girlfriend Jessie's listening, she's wonderful. We love you.
Wow. That's a great story. So I want to know how you guys got the edge over the biggest competition. In my eyes, it seems that you've covered more ground, and in my eyes, it seems that GameStop is just more not customer orientated. It seems more I've walked into both, and I just get more I feel more comfortable in the Oogie stores. Your employees are more nice.
It's funny. We'll often say that we can teach someone all they need to know about video games. The customer service aspect is hard to teach, and we've been fortunate right from the get-go. We're fortunate in a way that our national competition, you're lucky if you get a head nod when you walk in and maybe a grunt at you. So our thing from the get-go has been, look, we're going to go crazy on the customer service. Let's get out from behind the counter. Let's walk around. Let's help them out the best we can and listen to our customers. And when they need stuff that we're not providing, we're going to figure out how to get it and bring it in for them. And that's how we've grown our product line to include more accessories. I mean, there's 3 major things that we do that no one else does. We do everything that the national guys do. If you go to Best Buy, whatever you want to buy there, you can buy at Oogie, all that. The 3 things we do no one else does, we do the retro stuff. So if you want your old N64 GoldenEye that you used to play with, whatever, we got them.
Wow.
And the cool thing is now it's not $69.99. Now it's only probably $20. So, I mean, you can get away a lot cheaper. So we do all the retro stuff, and we don't discriminate. I mean, if you want Atari, if you want original Nintendo, we got that.
Wow.
All the way up to the latest and greatest. And then the next thing we do is repairs. So especially the newer systems. I mean, basically, you're working with computers, and you jostle them, you move them, stuff breaks, bring them in. We can fix them. If they're out of warranty, if they're in warranty, send them in, get them fixed for free. If not, bring them in. We have absolutely free estimates. We won't charge anything. We'll take it in, we'll figure out what's wrong with it, and we'll fix it if you need us to. And we even have priority service, get it back to you in like 4 or 5 days, so we can really bust that out. And then the last big one that we do are the private parties, and that's a lot of fun. Every single one of our locations, matter of fact, Eastern Hills Mall is opening up in January, but every one of our locations has a private party room you can rent out with anywhere up to 10 screens, with every system on every screen, and just go bonkers for a few hours. Pizza. Our big thing is that we don't want to nickel and dime you. As with everything, customer service is key, so everything is included. One price, pizza, pop. If you want to bring something, bring in your own food. We don't care, but you always get pizza, you always get pop. Everything will be there for you. You have a host that takes care of everything you need, changing out games, doing whatever you want. So it's a very easy one-stop shop. And we do a lot of kids, like birthday parties and stuff. We do a lot of college stuff. We just had a group from Buff State, a gaming group that came in, rented out our spot for 3 hours, and just went nuts gaming. And it's hard when it's a bunch of buddies to get 10 screens together and 10 systems in somebody's dorm room or so. You got it. Bring it in. We'll take care of it. And you can eat and drink and have all sorts of fun as well.
Wow, that's awesome. Awesome.
The Oogie difference, ladies and gentlemen. The Oogie difference.
And it does make a difference. So holy cow. I mean, it's consistent expansion here.
We've been fortunate. Yeah, we're the only company, at least that's what I was told, but from Business First. They hold a competition every year for the fastest growing companies in Western New York. We're the only company to ever make the top 3 or the top 5 3 years in a row.
Wow.
So
that deserves a...
Thank you. Yeah, and it's been, I mean, honestly, we have a great group of managers. We have a great group of employees that work at all levels. And, we're really fortunate to have Buffalo really showing the love a little bit for us, too, and realizing that shopping local makes a huge difference.
Oh, it does. It does. I'm all about that. That's why you're here.
Well, and it's funny. Buffalo's all about that. I was joking the other day. I had an app on my phone for a national pizza chain that will go unnamed. And I was surprised they closed.
Wow.
And I hadn't been to them forever, but it just shows you whenever I order pizza, you go to the local guy. I mean, that's just what we do. Buffalo, we shop at the mom and pops. And as a mom and pop shop, we appreciate it. I mean, that's huge. We're not living high in the hog. We're not millionaires. We're not doing. But you know what? We take care of our customers, and we try and do the best that we can for Buffalo.
Yeah, and I think that really does give you the edge. I think.
Well, I hope so. We have 6 locations now.
I was just going to ask you that.
Thank you. We work well together. No, we have 6 locations. So Niagara Falls, Lockport, Eastern Hills, Depew, Tonawanda, and West Seneca. And always looking to add more. So more than likely in the next year or so, you'll see another couple of pop up. Our goal is that you'll never be more than 20 minutes away from an Oogie.
That's nice. That's nice. Are you looking maybe Hamburg?
Hamburg would be a great spot. West Seneca obviously gets us into the South Towns. Hamburg gets a little bit further. We don't have one in Cheektowaga yet. That's obviously kind of key. We got to get over there.
Yeah.
The funny thing, here you go. Talk of funny stories, at least for me. We actually went to sign a lease in Cheektowaga. And before we stopped there, we stopped at Eastern Hills Mall to tell them that we weren't signing there, and we ended up signing Eastern Hills. So we should have had one at Cheektowaga. We should have had one there by now, and instead we opened it up in Eastern Hills, which has been unbelievable to us. If people, I always laugh because people think Eastern Hills is just dead all the time.
Yeah,
it's a great store for us. It's a great store for us. Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. Where did the name come from?
Oh, this is funny. When Kevin first told me, I tried to change the story, much like I probably changed the origin story. But because I was like, oh, this isn't good at all. And as I tell it, people are like, hey, it's not bad. Kevin and a buddy of his they were working the flea market, and at the flea market you couldn't leave your stuff, so every night you had to pack it all up. So he had a big SUV. The other guy had his dad's van. His dad played in a band, so they loaded everything into the trucks, and they're driving away talking on their cell phones, which was not illegal at the time, talking on their cell phones, and going back and forth on what to name it. They had no name. They had like a sign over their thing just said video games. They didn't know what to name it. And everything out there was Game Crazy, Game Craze, GameStop. It's all game. And if you went to look it up online or in a phone book, you couldn't find it. Like everything was just game. So he's like, we needed something unique. So they're going back and forth, and Google had just hit. This goes 7-8 years ago, and they couldn't come up. Yahoo, they're like, oh, we need something good. And he looked at the back of his dad's van, and he had a advertisement for amps. They were Boogie amps. And he's like, Boogie would be great, except we don't want to be a dance company, whatever. And he dropped the B, and they called it Oogie. And it's funny because to this day, everyone I know calls it Oogie because that's how it's spelled.
Yeah. Except
for the owner who still calls it Oogie because he took it from Boogie. And we tried to make up all sorts of other stories. And at the end of the day, the actual story is the best.
Very good. Wow. That's awesome. So what's trending right now in the gaming industry?
You know, it's funny because it's so back and forth. In the last generation, the PlayStation was really hot, and then the Xbox 360 took over and never let up. This generation, the PlayStation again, really hot. We're outselling Xbox Ones 3-4 to 1. PlayStation 4s are outselling Xbox Ones. So PlayStation 4s are definitely
By 3 or 4 to 1?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
We literally get into PS4s and they're sold right now. The Battlefront combo's out, the Star Wars one, just selling through the roof.
I know. I was looking for the Call of Duty combo. It's sold out everywhere.
Yeah, they changed it up a little bit this year. And I guess for retailers it's a little bit better. But what they're doing is instead of what they used to do is release all these combos, and you could basically get any Xbox with any combo or any PlayStation with any game as a combo. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of a pain because if the game didn't go over well, you were stuck with all these systems you couldn't sell because of the darn game inside. So what they did this time was they made them real small windows. Literally, in some cases, it was like 2 weeks. I think Madden had a 2-week window. You get a Madden combo with the system, but it was like 2 weeks and then it was gone. You couldn't order it anymore. So what happened with the Call of Duties was demand was higher than they expected. They sold all out. Well, the time frame's over, and now they're moving on to other ones.
Oh, no.
We still have...
I'm so sorry for my son.
we still have some combos out there. Just kind of depends on the store and whatnot. But I know, like, for Xbox, the Forza combo is still floating around out there. I think we still have a FIFA combo. So we'll always, you might get one odd lot, but as far as reordering them, we can't. They're just gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But that's what makes it the hot item. Oh, I got this. And that's what makes the kid feel like poo and when he goes into school because he didn't get one.
Well, and the good news is you can always buy the system and the game separate. So
the stickers.
There you go. Pardon me?
You just buy the stickers?
In some cases, they're not even stickering. In the original Xbox days, you used to give you like a funky faceplate and stuff, and no one really cared about them. Now they literally color. I know the one Star Wars bundle actually had like a Darth Vader, like the whole top was separate and different, and it was a specific Darth Vader one. They did the same with Xbox, they had like an R2-D2 version and stuff. But yeah, no, they don't really sticker them much anymore. Which, as a place that takes in your old, trade in your old stuff, I'm really thankful because those stickers were a pain in the butt. You're trying to get them off and clean up the system. Exactly. Yeah. We buy it by the gallon at Oogie Games, and that's always a tip for the listeners out there. If you're trading in any of your stuff, we take it all. So bring it all in. We'll take it all. Clear out the basement as long as it works. Mm-hmm. But the key there, just like selling a car, the better the condition, the more you're going to get for it. I'm always amazed when people bring it in. And it smells like they had quite the party last night, and smoke is still pouring out of the system. And it's like we can't, it's going to take us hours to clean this, and it's we're just not going to be able to sell for anything. They go home, they clean it all up, they deodorize it a little bit, and all of a sudden, hey, you get $20-$30 more.
Yeah. Think about that.
There you go.
Sweet. So, okay, now your position with Oogie Games?
I'm the chief operating officer. So basically, I do. We joke because we actually have a position at Oogie that's called the director of everything, who is he handles more interaction with the stores. I'm more of a I handle all of the day-to-day operations. I oversee the marketing. I oversee new products coming in. I oversee basically all the day-to-day operations. I make sure that our sales are in line with what we want to do. The fun thing, honestly, I love being on the sales floor, and our employees will laugh because it's like I can't get enough of it. And when I do, it's like they have to kick me out of the store because I will just hang out at the store all day helping customers. I love it.
Yeah, that's nice.
I have a question.
Fire away.
How is your business comparing to the new? I don't know if is it called Game On? The place where it's like screens everywhere and everybody can go in and play like all the game systems. It's
sure.
I don't know where. It's somewhere around here. There's just like one specific place. You know what I'm talking about?
Know what you're talking about. We do things a little different. We obviously focus on the retail.
Yeah.
So while we do have the screens, we rent it out as a private party. One of the things that I said right off the bat. Now you're way too young behind the glass. Susie knows. You got kids. But one of the things we said right off the bat was that we joked that when we go to I have to be so careful not to badmouth the competition. When we go to other party places, whether they be inflatable or laser tag or something like that, we always joke. I never mind if my kids get knocked down by like their buddy. Not a big deal. When they get knocked down by like the 35-year-old who's, no way, what are you doing? Like, it's nuts. So one of the things we said right from the get-go was completely private. No one else is in this room but your party. And in this day and age, honestly, it's nice. Parents feel real safe. That
I appreciate that,
they don't know who's
too.
the weird guy in the corner staring at my kid.
Right.
So it's completely private. But because of that, you can't just like wander in and play. Now, that being said, we do have what we call interacts. So we have Interacts for most of the major systems set up. You can just walk in and play those as part of the retail. But, yeah, the big party stuff. Now, we've done that. We've done some big open houses and stuff where it's like, just come in. We've done a couple times, like when the kids are on vacation, where it's like, oh, come on in, and it's like $5 an hour, and just play as much as you want. And kids will spend like
Wow.
8-10 hours. I mean, it's, in a way, it's almost sad because mom drops them off in the morning and comes back and picks them up in the afternoon. But we don't do that all the time. But yeah, we do offer that kind of thing as well.
Wow, that's pretty remarkable.
We like to be remarkable. Like you, Susie. We like to be remarkable. Susie and I have worked together before, so this is much, much easier when you've done it before.
Yeah. Now, I really want to know. Okay, so this is like all kinds of cool and fun stuff.
Yes.
Now you are suddenly a town
Councilman.
councilman.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you. It was.
Now, how in the heck do those two things mingle?
It was a very long process. Can I say that first? And I owe a lot of thanks. There's all sorts of people that helped. It's amazing, even just for something you think, oh, town council. It's such a little. It's amazing the literally hundreds of people that really need to help you get through this 5 or 6 months of campaigning.
Wow.
So I was very, very fortunate to have a good team around me. But it really, my wife is to blame. You're asking how it came about. For the longest time, and I think we all do that, we complain about this guy doing that or this guy doing this. And I was complaining about some things happening in our town government, and I said, this is kind of BS, and we need to fix this. And I wish and at one point I turned to my wife and said, all I need to do is just get a good, honest businessman in there, and let him just be a good, honest businessman and treat things the way they should be treated and run it like a business. And I ran out of breath or whatever I was doing. I was all exasperated, and she said, well, why don't you run for office? And I'm like, no, I was never the popular kid in school. I'm not going to run for office. That's not me. And she's like, well, you've been complaining for 10 years about how things are run. And I said, you know what? You got me there. So I do a lot of, before I ran for town council, I did a lot of volunteer work. I'm pulling back, unfortunately, on all that. I just don't have time.
Mm-hmm.
But, I walked the door to door, knocked on, probably a few thousand doors in Lancaster and Depew. And
Some sore knuckles.
yeah, and ran and literally wore out a couple of pairs of sneakers. So it was incredible. I mean, really, it was neat talking. I'm a fairly outgoing guy. I can talk to pretty much anybody, but it was humbling in a lot of cases, talking to people and just hearing the issues they're having and trying to help them fix those issues. In Lancaster, we're fortunate in that we're growing very rapidly. I mean, we're adding houses. It seems like every day there's another couple of houses going on. Infrastructure is a little tight, and in some cases roads get backed up really bad because they weren't meant to handle thousands of cars.
Yeah.
So we're working on all that, and I appreciate the trust that the town of Lancaster residents put in me to do the job.
Wow.
That sounded way too politician. That did sound way too politician.
Got to start somewhere.
I guess. No, and I've said all along that in 4 years, if I've upset everybody and the people who got me in don't like then I will step back. I'm more than happy to. I got a great piece of advice when I first decided to run at a fundraiser, not my own, but at another fundraiser. Someone basically said, look, at the end of the day, you've got to be able to sleep, and you got your conscience you got to deal with. And so make sure that you're not doing anything that you can't live with. And so the whole campaign, I said, I'm going to do that. I did a lot of things that I think the party chairs were pulling their hair out over. But I kind of, and I warned them when they asked me to run. I said, look, I'm not going to be your typical candidate. I'm not going to be the guy who just does the same thing everybody else did. And so I did a lot of things different, and some of that got me to some hot water, and some of it I think won me the election. I mean, I did things. There's a online forum. I won't mention it because they don't advertise with you, but there's an online forum that for every town has a little section in it, and Lancaster's was very vocal against my party. And then I should say I'm unaffiliated. I don't actually belong to any party. I was interviewed by the Republicans. I was interviewed by the Democrats. And a high-ranking Republican official said, run as a Democrat. They got a much better machine. So I ran as a Democrat. That being said, on a national scale, I don't agree with a whole ton of what they do. But ultimately, on the town level, I can only control what I can control.
Yeah.
But I went very public on this forum and said, here I am. Hit me up. What do you got? And people got really nasty and really quick, and I was amazed. I'm like, this is town council, right? Like I didn't all of a sudden run for state or something. And but it was really interesting, and I learned a heck of a lot. And people online, even though they could be nasty at times, were also very informed and knew some of the issues that were happening, whether it was with traffic or with our airports or with our, a lot of the other issues that we're facing. And it was a wonderful experience. And I learned very quickly that, and I think everyone falls into this trap at some point or another. They get a microphone, and you got to be careful what you say because all of a sudden you carry some weight.
Yeah.
And in this case, I thankfully never went crazy.
Yeah.
But there were a couple times where I said, I would start to type something. I said, let me pull that back a little bit, and let me edit slightly.
I can relate. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, it's been. The process took forever. I don't know if you even know this part. The night of the election, I actually lost. I was down by 10 votes. Yeah.
I knew it was really close, but
It was,
I didn't realize it was that close.
It was 10 votes out of 5,000 some.
Wow.
And the gentleman running against me actually declared victory and, all that. And the night of the election, when I saw I was down 10 votes, the first thing I said, well, how many absentee votes are there? There were a few hundred. So I said, well, wait, he doesn't have this thing won yet.
Yeah.
So anyway, so the absentees, you have to wait 2 weeks before they count them in case there's more coming in.
Torture.
Oh, I know. Exactly. So everyone else is celebrating and, hey, this is great. And all I get, oh, man, I'm so sorry. Hopefully soon. It was bad. But anyway, so after 2 weeks, they counted all the absentee votes, and I gained 16. So I was down 6. I'm sorry. Down 6 to start. Now I'm up 10. So I'm like, all right, I'm up 10 votes. Well, and that's not the end of it either, though. There's also what they call affidavit votes. So if people go in to vote and they're not in the book, they still get to vote, but they set them aside, and then they double check and make sure that these people are legit and they should be voting and all that. So they had a lot of those. I think it was over 100. Oh, wow. Not all of them were valid. So there were 69 that were valid, and they counted those out. But we had to wait another week. So literally up until I think the day or two before Thanksgiving. I mean, the election was early November. The day or two before Thanksgiving, I finally got the word. I had gained another bunch of votes, and I ended up winning by 31. So yeah, that was cool.
Oh my gosh!
But it did take forever.
Thin.
So yeah, I just got elected. It was kind of funny. Everyone else is making plans. I'm like, I can't do anything. I'm not elected yet. So we finally just got elected, and really looking forward to it. I mean, it was.
How did you feel when you found out you officially won? What went through your mind and your heart?
Honestly, it was.
Did you cry?
I didn't. I didn't cry, but I did. There was instantly a sense of what did I get myself into? Like all of a sudden it got real, and I went, "Oh man, like this is going to be tricky." So I'm looking forward to it, and I went into this with the idea that look, I just want to serve my community. I don't. Some people do it because they it does pay. They need the paycheck, or they need the health care, or they need whatever perks they think come along with it. They want the power.
Right.
I've run my own company. I've run other companies. I don't need the power thing. I don't get. I don't need it. I just wanted to help my community. I was born and raised in Lancaster. Love the area. I just wanted to help my town. And a lot of people couldn't believe it, and a lot of people doubted my sincerity of that. And I guess I have the next 4 years to prove it. And as I said all along, if in 3.5 years, if people say they don't like me, I'd be more than happy to not run again, as long as I feel as though I've served my town the best I can.
Yeah, outstanding. Thank you so much, man. What a story. What a guy.
I'm full of stories. Keep going. This is fun.
Yeah. Do we have Chuck in the waiting area out there?
Does he have long?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Then,
that means you're kicking me out. I get it. I see. Thanks,
yeah,
Chuck.
Your time has expired.
My time? Not for 4 more years now. Don't go there. 4
On
more years.
Suzapalooza Spotlight for the December edition, because I'm
Thank you.
sure we'll have you back to see how
that'd
things
be
are
wonderful.
going. And,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You said it's all about bands. You didn't even ask if I played in a band.
Do you?
No, I don't. But I love karaoke. I love karaoke. If you fired something up
What do
right
you
now.
sing? What's one of the songs that you love to sing?
It's funny. I'm a little bit of, and I am not ashamed to admit, I'm a little bit of a karaoke snob. I can't stand. My wife and I, before kids, and even when literally, I remember taking a 2-month-old with earmuffs on into the bar at night so we could sing karaoke. But I'm a big guy. I'm not a big fan. I'm a big guy of keeping the house exciting, getting the house rocking a little bit. When people get up and like, let's sing a show tune, I'm like, no, don't do it. So no, I'm old school rock. So I'll do the Monkees. I'll do.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, we'll do, we'll do some Crocker, we'll do, 50s, 60s, but it's stuff that, actually people are like, all right, it's not bringing everybody
fun
down.
With, yeah,
let me
nice.
sing a 5-minute long ballad. Like, no, that's not going to be me.
Tear my beer and all that stuff.
Exactly.
All righty. So can we go to a commercial break?
Yep.
That would be
Is it
awesome.
for Oogie Games?
Oh, you got to do the thing. Give us a
I'd blow her ears out. It's funny when I'm at the office.
I'll turn the mic
back
down.
up. Okay, ready? So this segment of Suzapalooza has been brought to you by Woogie Games.
All right.
The holiday season is almost here. It's a time for getting together with family and friends, shopping, delicious food, and your favorite holiday music.
Here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane.
Unfortunately, it's not like this for everyone. Over 5,000 people in Buffalo are without the most basic of necessities this season, a home. 26% of them are children under the age of 18. They are often without warm clothes, food, and access to vital services that they need to survive. But you can help give them hope. This holiday season, WBNY is collecting food and clothing for Friends of Night People, a local organization that does great work for the homeless in Buffalo. Please bring warm clothes, personal care products, and non-perishable food to the WBNY studios during the week of December 7th. We're located in the north wing of the Campbell Student Union at SUNY Buffalo State. Help those in our community who need it the most. Make a difference in someone's life this holiday season.
This is 91.3 FM WBNY Buffalo.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Patrick.
Listen online at WBNY.org.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Patrick.
We are Buffalo's original alternative, WBNY.
Is this the Krusty Krab? No, this is Patrick. I'm not a Krusty Krab.
Patrick, that's the name of the restaurant.
Huh?
Hi, my name's Bob. Hi, Bob. I see this ad on TV, says I can reduce my debt by 50%. I call, they told me to stop paying my bills, stop talking to my creditors, they'd take care of everything.
I gave them thousands, but most of it went to their fees.
Getting out of debt is neither quick nor easy. There are those who will tell you anything to win your trust.
I'm more in debt now because the fees and interest on my cards kept piling up.
Talk to your creditors directly, or to find a nonprofit agency near you, visit debtadvice.org. This has been a public service message.
91.3 FM WBNY, Buffalo's original alternative. Brought to you by the Student Activity Fee here at Buffalo State College. This is All Talk Monday, WBNY's public affairs programming that airs Monday mornings till midnight. The views expressed in all the various All Talk Monday shows are not necessarily those of WBNY, the United Students Government at Buffalo State, or Buffalo State itself. Due to the opinionated nature of these programs, listener discretion is highly advised. If you have any questions or comments about All Talk Monday, you can direct them to WBNY's All Talk Monday, 1300 Elmwood Avenue, Buffalo, New York, 14222. For more information, check out our website at wbny.buffalostate.edu. Or you may give us a call at the station at 716-878-5104 and take part in all the various All Talk Monday shows.
Hey, listen, 91.3 WBNY, Buffalo's original alternative
Test 1
since
2 1 2.
1982. So we have our second guest, and that's him.
All right, welcome back. Now I have Chuck DiLiberto in studio with me. Hi, Chuck.
Hi, Susan.
All right, so sounds great. And let's see, what did I say on my Facebook thing? Chuck DiLiberto, spiritual healer from Achieving Consciousness. And I'm sure you can elaborate on that for us. I know you're an intuit. And what does that mean? What does being an intuit mean?
Well, excuse me. It was a term that took the place of the word psychic. And psychic has a lot of different connotations. When you look at the word an intuitive, which I refer to myself as, it's the ability to see beyond the five senses. And it's an ability that's innate, it's inherent in everyone, but most people see it because of media and entertainment as some superpower, and it's not really. It's a natural part of all of us. And I recognized I had this ability as a young child.
So your sixth sense is more developed? Is that what we would call our intuition?
Well, you could call it a sixth sense, but I want to key off the word develop. We all have the ability to develop this stuff, all of us. I chose to develop my intuitiveness where it suited my experience. I had a lot of experiences as a child that were very intuitive experiences. Some would call them multidimensional experiences. And I realized that I did have abilities, not because someone told me that I had abilities. I realized because no one else was doing and seeing what I was seeing and hearing. So at that point, it's like, oh, okay, I've got something here. What is this? Yeah, and then I began to develop it over a period of time, for the most part, to understand myself better and to help other people.
So over the next several decades, you've developed this more, and you have a series of workshops that you do now. What can somebody expect to what do you offer? Some of the workshops that you offer.
Well, yeah, that's a very good question. I will approach that by first prefacing this by saying that what I'm offering, some of it seems mainstream, but the way I approach it is not. Now, I'll give you an example. If you're familiar with what EFT is, emotional freedom techniques, or tapping, tapping is used to tap emotional chaos outside, to get it out of our body. What I do when I teach a tapping class is to actually turn it into a meditative class that allows us to come back inside ourselves to understand that which we are tapping out. And we can also tap stuff in to the subconscious brain to then reprogram who we are. And as I said, tapping is known to the mainstream. It's out there, but I approach it from a different place. Everything that I'm looking at is how do we come back inside ourselves? How do I shift our focus? Where is this point of recognition that we are outside of ourselves to come back inside? And I've developed tapping to help people actually look at themselves and what's going on inside.
I think that's outstanding. Now, I went to one of Chuck's workshops just last night, and I thought it was pretty darn awesome. And I get it. I totally get it. It makes perfect sense. So, if somebody wanted to go to your workshops, so we have a tapping workshop.
Oh yeah, I also teach a variety of workshops. Another one is a basic meditation techniques. And what I do is I break down what meditation is, what it really is. And I look at other forms of meditation to show how it's been used through a period of time and what the purpose of meditation is, what to expect when you learn how to meditate. And I go through a whole background of information that allows you to understand without any mystery, this is what meditation is. And then I have a few techniques, actually inward focusing techniques to open the pineal gland, also known as the third eye, so that you recognize that meditation is a discipline. It's used to bring your focus back inside. And the way I approach it is to give a lot of information so that there is no mystery. You know, here it is. This is what meditation is. You don't have to sit on a mountaintop in some monastery going om, om for the rest of your life and go about it that way. It's actually, once again, learning how to bring our focus back within ourselves.
What would you recommend? Because there's like people who would like to learn how to meditate and have a hard time because it's too busy. I mean, in their mind, they can't find that quiet. I know, Jessica, you said you got mad. You get mad. I never forgot that. She tries to meditate and she gets mad because
I can't visualize what they're telling me to. I can't visualize the roots and I can't visualize the clouds, and I'm wondering why I can't visualize these things, and I'm getting mad. I'm like, why can these people look like they're meditating? What am I supposed to look like when I'm meditating? Why aren't I doing it?
That's wonderful. Your feedback here is great because you go into it and everyone else does, that there's a mystique. You know, you're supposed to have some high understanding that meditation brings you to. But what I've learned is what meditation really does is creates the discipline to bring you back inside. So how does that happen? Well, it's a simple focus. It's focusing on the third eye, which is a spot between the eyes, and understanding breathing. When you combine focus and breathing, that brings your attention back inside of you. And you have to, like anything that you learn, you actually have to do it first, the focusing and the breathing, in order to understand the differentiation. I'm outside myself, I'm inside myself. At that point, when you do come back inside, then it goes from beginner meditative techniques to more of an intermediate, to start understanding, well, what is it that I'm seeing in my inside? What am I feeling inside? Are we aware that there's a shift in my consciousness, where instead of being more concerned about, what the bills are going to do this week, I'm more concerned about I might have some emotional chaos in me, and that if I learn tapping or meditation, that's going to allow me to have awareness to release it. So it's a lifestyle change. That's really what I'm teaching, is a lifestyle a change. There's something I've developed. It's called light mechanics. And what light mechanics are, the basic premise, is recognizing what prevents us from becoming conscious, from becoming aware. And this I could speak on this for hours, and there's some conspiracy theory approach to this, but that's not my approach. But there is some of this, people do direct that at it, and I'm going to defray that as quickly as I can. What this really amounts to is it's ancient shamanistic knowledge that I'm talking about, of how to access multi-dimensions, not as doing it as a mystery or as only some people can do it, but doing it to understand the language. And that's what light mechanics are, to understand the language of accessing our consciousness.
That makes sense. I get it. Hopefully our listeners get it too. Does that make sense to you?
It does. I think over the last 6 months, I've found only 2 things that make me want to meditate. One, I took a trip to Ithaca and went to a kava bar. Have you ever tried kava?
No. I don't even know what it is.
It's like made from this root, and they grind it up, and you like drink it, and it tastes like dirt. But then they give you a pineapple, and it takes away that taste.
What's that supposed to do?
It's kind of like cannabis, but you don't get like the you don't feel high. It like really calms you down. You like go into like a zen state, and like it was we left there, and my friend went in to go look at like a gift shop or something, and I just sat down on a chair on the side of the street, and I just like tried to like meditate. And it was the one time that I wanted to meditate.
And did it work for you?
Well, the people were beeping, and it was, it was a bit. The second time since then, it was like maybe a weekend or 2 ago, I was in the Galleria Mall, and they have an Indian store, and whatever the music they were playing, like I just fell in love with it, and I just wanted to like sit down and meditate. And I tried asking the lady what the music was, and she said that artists just come to her with music, and she plays it. So she didn't know what it was, and I haven't been able to look it up since.
Oh, wow. You will, though. You'll find it.
You bring up some good points there. What we are, what the universe is electromagnetic energy. And it's also electrotonal. It's light and sound. So there's certain types of music that will effectuate within our subconscious the relaxation state, because they're hitting certain frequencies that are what are known as theta waves. And theta waves is where you do get into your subconscious brain and you do relax. And that's what it sounds like the kava kava was setting up inside of you, and the music was a further extension of that. There's another workshop I wanted to talk about. I call it a paradigm shift humanity. And this is a very intense subject in many circles, but not mainstream. And what I'm teaching in this workshop is that there is a consciousness elevation that's going on this planet. And people are feeling it. I talk to people from all walks of life, and they know something's going on, but they can't put their finger on it. Mm-hmm. And what I talk about in this particular workshop is how to define what you are as a human and how to take that to the next step of your own evolution as a being. So paradigm shift humanity, meaning we're moving out of being stuck in watching Gilligan's Island reruns and starting to recognize that we're more than just what we've been told that we are.
That's a beautiful turning point.
It is. The problem is, and this is what I encounter in many people that work with me is it does require discipline.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to change your life, you can't think about it. You actually have to change it. And that starts with making a decision. Yeah.
I rewired my life. You know, when I hit my ground zero and I was busy being angry and not understanding why I was subjected to what I was subjected to and blah, blah, blah. And it definitely was an unlearning and a relearning. And I took my own reins and I decided, you know what? What happened happened. I can't change it. I'm not going to cry over it. And I'm going to make my life awesome. And I'm going to live by example. And that's what I do. So now, you know, I'm the Pied Piper of positive. And that's where it goes. But every day, and it's training. It's training. You have to, when somebody ticks you off, you need to analyze that. Why did that make me mad? Oops, that's because there's something that I don't like about me. That's what it's about. So, and I try to get this point across to people, and some people just aren't ready to hear it because they don't understand or they just further get agitated, that you truly are your own savior. You are in charge of you, and you can control your life, your destiny, your happiness. Now, you can't control, you know, a thunderstorm or, you know, something horrible happens and there's death that happens and really nasty things. However, you are in charge of how you react to it and how it's just they're bumps and grooves in your road. And as long as you keep on going and take the lesson, even from bad people, there's a lesson in bad people. Maybe that's what you don't want to become. So as long as you get through life taking these lessons, you will be awesome. Right, Chuck?
Oh, you're speaking my language right now. Yeah, I want to tie this into something, the law of attraction. Okay. Generally.
Oh, I think I love that.
Oh, you like that? I do have a workshop on the universal laws, and I do talk about the law of attraction. But I'm going to give you an example of the law of attraction happening right now. People that are attracted to me and what I do is playing out the law of attraction. Suzanne was attracted to, I don't know if it was my picture or just what I was offering. But it's the law of attraction. Everything she was just saying, I resonate with as if I was saying it myself. I don't feel I'd be sitting here if there wasn't a law of attraction in her experience to my own. And in the Universal Laws workshop, it's another thing I like to demystify, where if you're going to learn what the universal laws are, the way you're really going to learn them is how you're actually going against them, instead of how they work for you. And the law of attraction is the underlying foundation in every universal law. And I guess the flash and the celebrity of law of attraction is, I want money, I want my soul partner, I want the best job, and we'll learn how to attract that to you. And, you know, everyone hears that. So the glamour is the attraction, instead of recognizing that to make the law of attraction work, you have to elevate your consciousness, because you can't control it. You have to vibrate with what it is you're attracting to you. So if you're miserable inside and say you're a guy who's lonely and you're only attracting miserable women to you, well, guess what? You're attracting what law of attraction is going to have bring you. You're miserable. Miserable people are going to find you.
How does that happen, though? Because one of the biggest things you'll see with, like, I'm going to talk about, like, domestic violence is when you've been in that cycle and you leave that cycle, those people are still coming to you, whether you want them to or not.
Yeah, I really like that question. I'll explain. And Suzanne is right on line with what I'm about to say, and she could chirp in whenever she wants. What you have to do is actually change you. And that is the most difficult thing to do, is to change ourselves. And I don't mean superficially, like, oh, yeah, I'm wearing these clothes now instead of those clothes. I'm
just going to put on jeans.
Yeah. I'm not doing Nike anymore. I'm doing the orange New Balance. You know, those aren't the changes that I'm discussing. So if you do not make real changes within you, you will continually draw to you the same situation. That's how it works. And there's a nice barometer to look at there, where that moment that comes where you make a real change, the universe will show you you made that change by who it directs into your life and who it removes from your life. But the impetus for this change is us. As she said, there are no saviors. That is a myth. It's a myth that draws people outside of themselves that, oh yeah, that's going to save me. That person, that book, that group. It doesn't work that way. We have to look at ourselves and find out how to make these real changes. And only when we come back inside are you going to make a real change. It doesn't work any other way. And that's why people they could spend years in therapy and come out of it and still be the same person because they weren't shown how to make a real change inside. It's all superficial at that level.
Yeah, and they just throw drugs at you. Here, take these mood-altering drugs. Anxiety, depression, you don't feel good about yourself? Here, let's water you down.
Side effect, suicide.
Yeah, right? I can't stand the pharmaco. But we don't have enough time to get into that. That's another whole ball of wax.
Notice no response on my part.
We're not going to touch it.
Now, I'm going to go another step with what I offer. I do a lot of cutting-edge stuff. I do stuff that just breaks through this illusion that most people call reality. And what I found in the course of actually teaching people to look at themselves, when you trigger fear in someone and they don't want to look at it, they're looking to blame you for triggering it in them. And that's a difficult situation. It's hard for any of us to recognize that a lot of decisions that we make are fear-based, and that creates anxiety. So knowing this, I went and offered a workshop on understanding what soul groups, soul mates, and twin souls are. And you know, law of attraction. We want to meet that perfect person. All of us want to fall in love. And we want to live this fairy tale existence where it's all based in love. Well, that's fine. But now, when you look at something like soul groups and soulmates and twin souls or twin flames they're called, you want to understand two things. Why isn't this happening to me? And how can I make this happen for me? And when you understand what a soul group is, it's a resonant thing. You know, we've all met people before, and something inside of us goes, I know this person. I've met this person before. There's something about this person that's so familiar. That it's quite possible that person could be a member of your soul group. You know, and we all meet these people, and sometimes it's just for a minute.
I felt that way about Susie.
And here we are. That deserves a...
Do you remember how weird that first conversation was during Week of the Warriors?
Yes. Yes. And all the way down to the crystals.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just got Brianna some.
Very good. What'd you get her?
I made sure that she had malachite. Malachite is supposed to protect children and bring in some like positive energy. So I went through and just got her like a bunch of like random stones, and she had a lot of fun.
She's a sweetheart. Happy birthday, Bean.
You know, I want to further this and use you as an example.
Okay.
I want you to explain what makes you feel that you two are part of the same soul group.
Going back to that first conversation, we had the same kind of like down to like the weirdest fights or like the moments that we both realized that like we are in this, and then like this is the final fight and we are gone and you don't turn back, and then we went towards domestic violence advocacy, and we've just like run into each other so many times since then.
Sounds right to me. You aren't going to get into a fight right now, right?
Oh.
Okay. No.
We didn't fight with each other.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. No,
I'm anti-fight.
We are both the survivors.
To some degree, we all are.
Yeah.
You know, when it's a tough situation here. Everything, excuse me, everything that's directed at us is to pull our attention and distract us from coming back inside. And the name of my healing center is Consciousness Awakening and Development. And I put a main focus on helping people to recognize what being awake is and how to develop being more conscious. But there's a strange dichotomy here. You're either unconscious or you're conscious. But the problem is you don't know you're unconscious until you're conscious. And you could be a wonderful person, a very intelligent person, a successful person, a good mother, a good father, and still be unconscious. And what happens, and this is something I have to deal with on a regular basis, story of my life, if you're a conscious person and you're teaching people how to break free from the limitations of fear, and I'm just going to say this once because I don't want to cause trouble, religion, to break free from stuff that has dogma and rules and regulations, and if it's fear-based, you have to challenge yourself and get outside of your comfort zone. And that is one of the most difficult things to do to effectuate a real change.
Change is probably one of the things that cause people the most fear.
Oh, big time, because we become complacent. How can somebody find you? Because our time is up, and I have another guest lined up. So how can, if somebody wants to sign up for your workshops, how do they do that?
Well, first you want to go on meetup.com.
Okay.
And then you'll look for it's the name of my healing center and the name of my site. It's called Consciousness Awakening and Development. So meetup.com, Consciousness Awakening and Development, and you'll see what I got going on.
Wonderful. And I went, so I definitely can attest to all the information that you share. And he's got a plethora of very, very rich and diverse information that can change your life if you're ready and if you allow it to. Thank you so much for being here, Chuck.
Susan, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, can we cut to a commercial? And we'll be right back, and we're going to have The Red Revolution on. Woohoo!
Smooth like sugar, but cold as ice. If you cross him, you better think twice. He's Cappuccino Jones.
Cappuccino Jones.
His job is to rid the streets of crime, one coffee cup at a time.
Cappuccino Jones.
With kung fu fists, his only tools. He'll beat you down, but he don't play by the rules. He's Cappuccino Jones.
Cappuccino Jones.
The Buffalo State Television and Film Arts Program are proud to present Cappuccino Jones, a 30-minute TV pilot about a smooth-talking detective whose agenda is cleaning up the streets and his fuel, steaming hot coffee.
They have worked tirelessly to create an amazing show and are holding the premiere this Thursday, December 10th. It will be showing in the social hall of the Campbell Student Union, right here at Buffalo State. This out-of-sight event is totally free and open to the general public.
To find out more information, you can check out Cappuccino Jones on Facebook. Once again, you can catch Cappuccino Jones this Thursday at 7 p.m. in the Buffalo State Social Hall. You do not want to miss this groovy event.
Cappuccino Jones.
I'm Renee Gracie, Buffalo State Alumni Class of 1991.
I'm Danielle Miano, Buffalo State Alumni Class of 2010.
One of my best memories from my time at Buffalo State was joining the Be a Friend, Big Brothers, Big Sisters program.
The program at one time was located in Cassidy Hall and matched hundreds of local kids with mentors.
I continue my friendship today with my little sister Erica, and I've joined the organization's alumni program to continue to help make a difference for the children of Western New York. If you are a former little brother or sister, or big brother or sister from the Buffalo area, we would like to reconnect with you. To learn more about the alumni group at Big Brothers Big Sisters of Erie County, visit beafriend.org.
Click on the alumni button to reconnect.
The USG Dental Clinic is located in the Weigel Health Center on the Buffalo State campus and provide dental services that include dental exams, bite wing x-rays, and dental cleanings. Undergrad and grad students as well as staff can be seen for a small fee. The dental clinic is open Monday through Thursday when classes are in session, so call 878-6716 or stop by to make an appointment.
Little ham and eggs coming at you. Hold on, people. Hope you got your griddles.
91.3 FM WBNY, Buffalo's original alternative. Brought to you by the student activity fee here at Buffalo State College.
Making music. That's what that is.
This is All Talk Monday, WBNY's public affairs programming that airs Monday mornings till midnight. The views expressed in all the various All Talk Monday shows are not necessarily those of WBNY, the United Students Government at Buffalo State, or Buffalo State itself. Due to the opinionated nature of these programs, listener discretion is highly advised. If you have any questions or comments about All Talk Monday, you can direct them to WBNY's All Talk Monday, 1300 Elmwood Avenue, Buffalo, New York, 14222. For more information, check out our website at wbny.buffalostate.edu, or you may give us a call at the station at 716-878-5104.
Hey, Aqualung!
And take part in all the various All Talk Monday shows.
Hey, we're back with Suzapalooza.
All right, it's December. Merry Christmas. We have no snow, and that's okay.
It's a little weird, though.
It is. It is. I don't mind, though. I got bit by the Christmas bug the other night. I was playing music and decorating, and I finally just felt good. I don't feel good. I have no presents bought, but that's all right. We'll get there. I had to pay a ticket. I got a ticket here last month. Campus cops. Well, I parked in the cops' parking lot, so I guess I asked for it. All right. So what a great show this has been so far. Our third guest today, okay, so I like to see original bands that I haven't seen before. And because of Warren Woo, he always had mentioned the other band and so I just happened to be free. I put it on my calendar and I went to check out The Red Revolution. And there I found the guest who I have in studio now, Gwendolyn Bork.
Hi, Susie. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. And I watched a set of their music, and something in Gwen was like sparkly to me. It's your interaction with your friends, your crowd. You got a little something extra going on there. And I said, I need to know this girl. And so here she is. So, gosh, where do we start? Oh, we got to give props to Warren. Hey!
Naming Ha.
Woo! Because one of my other names is Susie Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, look for the Contagious Woo, because I love them.
Yes.
All right, so you had given me one of your CDs that night at
Yes, I did.
the Tudor.
Mm-hmm.
And, got to give props to Chris Ben.
Chris, you're the man.
We love Chris.
We love you.
And I thought it was really cool. And inside the liner notes or somewhere online or somewhere, I saw that you had a story to share. So I'm not sure where. I guess we should start with that story because the story ends up leading you to here you are in the studio with me today.
Yeah, most definitely. My story, I came from just a crazy life. Left home when I was 15. Just a lot of dysfunction, and actually just what I thought I was running away from, I ran into just more dysfunction, drugs, alcohol, everything that you can possibly think of. And dropped out of high school, and by the time I was a senior is actually when I dropped out. And within 2 months of me dropping out, I had a really major car accident, and I had a near-death experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you leave and see your body? Was it like that?
No, it wasn't one of those. It was where actually, I fell into complete darkness, and I knew real quick that I'd kind of I heard paramedics or something get over here, and why are you so dilated? And they were very frantic, and I was like, what is going on? And then within 3 seconds, all of that vanished, and I was in complete emptiness.
Wow.
And I knew right away, oh my gosh, this is it. I'm dead. I knew I was dead, and I knew there was no going back. One of the scariest things I've ever had to deal with in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I saw I'd rejected, that I belonged to something bigger, that, there was a creator, and I just let it all go, and I let the world kind of take me as they wanted me and chew me up and spit me out per se. And talk about that law of attraction thing, from your last guest.
Yeah.
Exactly. I thought, well, you want to take advantage of me. You want to, I was a victim of rape and anything else you could possibly imagine. So it was like, oh, you want to do that to me? Well, then fine. I'll just take advantage of everybody else then. And advantage in the way that I just had no really common respect and, to for good. It was like, yeah, you want to do that? Well, then no, there's no rules for me,
Yeah, yeah.
So, but in the darkness, yeah, I ended up, kind of coming face to face, with my maker. In the moment, I was like, oh man, I had rejected God. I was like, that's it, son, I'm over with. And, it hurt so bad to know that there was no coming back, that I had no choice. I felt, I was like, God, please help me. And then just the spotlight came out from way out there in the distance, and I just as if I had no choice, I gravitated into it. And it was everything that I was searching for in life through drugs and alcohol and relationships. It was pure love and peace and just everything you could ever search for. And I knew instantly it was God, and then he talked to me.
That's what beamed down on you.
Amen. Yeah.
Wow.
And he was like, Gwen, what are you doing? Like, you know, you're supposed to be there for a reason. Like, now you got to get back through the physical pain and in order to get back to where you're supposed to. And I was like, well, physical, I can do physical because it was all emotional up until that point.
Uh-huh.
And they showed me real quick some images of my car basically folded in half.
Oof, wow.
And I was like, oh, boy, I don't know about this. But, yeah, it was months and months of rehabilitation. I was in ECMC for a month. Doctors from across the city came to put me back together.
Wow.
Yeah, multiple 16-hour surgeries.
Oh, my gosh.
I didn't even walk out of that hospital. I was wheeled out, in a wheelchair.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
So at what point were you inspired to write music?
You know, it was by that fall. That was in June of 1998. And by that fall, I ended up meeting someone who was a DJ. And I had no car, no life at that point, you know. I mean, I started working again, but I was at the mercy of everybody else. So it's like,
Were you depressed?
Oh, yeah, I went through major depression. I was like, what? Like, what the heck, God? Like, you pulled me out of this, pulled me out of that for this?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a lot of, like, anger and just, like, what? Why? And I ended up meeting someone who was a DJ, and we were inseparable. His name's Peter Vella, and I ended up going to his band rehearsal one day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just ended up moving into that role of singing with a band. It was Virtual Jesus.
Oh, my gosh.
Back in 1998, we did a glorified rehearsal here at the studio.
Look at that.
Oh,
Another alum. Woohoo.
Mhm. Yeah, and that was it. From that point on, just music, it wasn't just like my life. Like, music not only changed me, but it saved me. Like, anything that I had in my life, it just all disappeared when I got into music.
Wow.
I would learn, whatever I could do, I would take up different instruments and try to learn different instruments. And I got a computer built for me, and I recorded like a full album, all on my own. Just whatever I could do, I just would just to dive right into it. I would lose myself into it, and I'd just pour my heart into it, all my words, all my emotions.
Now, when you were little, did you have any interest in music or no?
I was always like, all county chorus and, stuff like that. But like, by the time I got into high school, I was on a much more social things. I never really went to school. But, yeah, so I never really pictured myself in that frame. I never, ever did. It just really, like, music came in and just, it came in and just really, it swooped me in. And
yeah,
just
it sounds like it like
filled me
cleansed
up.
you. Yeah.
It did, yeah. All the things from my past I was able to put down. I'd always been a writer. So I'd always put a lot of these really descriptive essays and poetry together, and I just started pulling them out and using them as lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
And I would do whatever I could to kind of merge the lyrics, those emotions, and then actually translate more or less the words into music.
Mm-hmm,
so it was almost like opposite than probably most musicians do it.
Yeah, I can relate because I write too.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's awesome.
I've always wanted somebody to do that with the poetry that I wrote when I was younger.
Put it to music.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you'll do. Maybe you'll connect with
You know what,
your own
babe?
DJ
Yeah.
with a cool name.
Exactly. Just go for it, Yeah, because I mean, once I started getting into music, and like Virtual Jesus back in 99 is when at the end of 98, 99, and it, as quickly as we rose, we fell. But I got into and I just ended up getting kind of like fed up with a lot of band drama. And there came a point in time I was like, you know what? I got words, there's a purpose, and I don't want to quit music because this person's leaving and we got to find that person. So after like the stock market crashed in 08, I was like, you know what, that's it. I'm putting a website together. We're going to call it the Red Revolution, and it's going to be a movement. It's going to be a movement for love. And, I had this symbol that came to me in a dream that meant like divine power. And it was like, that's going to be it with over a red cross. And we're going to come here and we're going to be like the army, that comes in and swoops in on the battlefield and just heals people through our music and with a positive message. And so I put the site together, and I've had different members throughout, the last probably 5 years that I've been doing it.
Uh-huh.
And these last guys like came alongside, like Warren, he was in Virtual Jesus after I tried to keep Virtual Jesus a long time ago when he first came into the area. We played a show at Cobblestone together. But it was like, this is it. I'm not going to stop because someone else has something else going on in their life. Like, it has to keep going. So it led into, Warren playing bass for me, and, Keith Green and Henry Vandal, like, he plays drums, Henry plays guitar. These are all guys like that have come in and out of all of each other's lives through other people that we know that we've just always been playing music together. In some sort of reference, we knew someone that played this, played that, and we would jam out. And it just all came together under this umbrella a couple years ago.
Wow, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. They're awesome. I mean, their talent. I honestly, I'm honored to have like such amazing talent, like right there, to be able to, like you said, you know, like you always wanted to have someone like, you know, put your words to music, to be able to have life in words and take it to that other level, and be able to really merge into someone else and really get them right at that core. Like music is that like universal language, and they bring those words to another level.
Yeah.
Like through their playing. I was never like, okay, this is the way it's got to be, and you got to play it like this. It was like, okay, well, here's what I have, guys. You know, like whatever you want to do with it, you know, do with it. And it'll any song could have started from like just one guitar lick, one chord, one little, you know, snap and pop that like Keith would just kind of rattle off in between songs. And I had like maybe 2 of these songs on this album, but every song was created almost in between, you know, other things. And we
that's
would
cool.
we're like, oh, that's sweet. Like, hey, let's work on that, you know? And then there you go. All right, that's a song. You know, that's how it's all made.
Sweet. Why don't we play something off
Sure.
the CD? What would you like to play?
You know
Warren
what?
had a request.
What was his?
He wanted the For Your Ears Only.
That's exactly, Naminga. That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking too, brother.
Warren, woo!
First one on the CD, For Your Ears Only. Let's listen to it.
All right.
Like a bird of a feather, I seen you walking by. Stuck in place, smiling face, I knew I had to say hi. Didn't I see you? Didn't I see you just the other day? In my dreams, yes, there you were, yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. I have seen that look before, I have seen it in my own eyes. You're not afraid of love, you're afraid of all them lies. Have you come for me? How can you help me see? Selflessly, I will believe. You took me by surprise, right before my eyes. You took me by surprise, right before my eyes. You took me by, you took
Yeah, did you guys dig it?
I really liked it.
The Red Revolution. We have Gwen Bork here in the studio with us on the December Merry Christmas edition of Suzapalooza Spotlight here on the Below. So, you have a book here.
I do. I brought it just for you, Susie.
That's awesome. You're so sweet.
It's the least I could do, you know.
Is this book for sale?
It is, yeah. You can, it's called Walking the Fine Line, The Path Between a Peak and a Valley. Even if you were just like to Google search my name, Gwendolyn, A as in my middle initial, and Bork, B as in boy, O-R-K. It's everywhere. You can download it as an ebook, Amazon, Barnes & Noble.
Look at how far you've
Tate
come.
Publishing, yeah, they published it for me.
Oh my goodness, great.
Mhm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How
I
did it
don't
get?
do that.
What's the publisher?
Tate Publishing. They're out west. Yeah. When I was, you know, you do all these, like, all this poetry. And my one friend one day, when I was pregnant with my first son, I was 24, she's like, you know, she was in a hard spot. I'm like, you know what? Like, I got something for you. I want to read something to you. And I read her, like, this one piece, and she was like, wow, Glenn, like, you got to do something with it. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I don't know. You know, it's kind of like my little special thing that I, like, tuck away and I leave to myself. She goes, no. Like, you had to, she said, people need to hear those words. And it got me into thinking, you know, because I was like, you know, I'm pregnant. Like, what about my son? What if something were to happen to me one day and, you know, he didn't know who I was? You know, like really everything I've ever had to go through. And so I went through the process of getting all my journals, all my writing from the ages of, really I wanted to focus on 10 of the hardest years of my life, ages 14 to 24. It was like the year just before I left home, all of the craziness I was involved with, you know, in the world, and the lessons, hard lessons I learned in the world. And then my car accident, you know, that hard lesson. And I figured, you know what, I got to put this all out together. And I started, you know, searching publishers, and they picked me up, and I did a lot of work, you know, while I was pregnant, but it was launched that very year that he was born in 2004. And actually here I was kind of doing it out of my own need, thinking like if something happened to me. And I think in a lot of ways it was meant to be, because his father ended up dying in a car accident while I was actually finalizing the book.
Oh my
gosh. He was 3 months old, and I was just getting done with finalizing the last chapter.
Wow.
So it's like the hard lessons. I was able to at least sneak that one hard little lesson in there of, you know, just no matter what, like whoever is in your life, family, friends or not, like you have to love them. You got to forgive them. You got to let go. You know, there's so much that we can hold on to. And, you know, that last guest that you had, like all the stuff that you're holding on to, you think it's power over that other person. And ultimately what you're doing is you're destroying yourself. You're eating yourself out from the inside out. And the only way to ever really see that peace and see that love and that total freedom is to be able to just let everything go from your past. Let bygones be bygones. Love people where they are, not what you really want them to be. And just tell them how you feel. Like, I always told his father how much I loved him, but, you know, you always wonder, like, that last time, like, I just wish I could have said I love you, like, one more time, you know? And it's going to affect, you know, that affects somebody for the rest of their life. Like, here's my little boy that's never going to have, you know, the ability to even tell his dad that he loves him. So take advantage of every opportunity that you have in this life to give that message to that person.
Yeah. That's a great message and fantastic, inspiring words.
Right?
Totally resonate too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the book, I mean, it's just it encompasses so much, you know, and it shows such like that on the cover of the book, you know, you kind of know it's mine when it looks like a red heart monitor line, and above it's white and below it's black, and really it means like walking that fine line between the light and the dark. You know, like you're going to have bad times, but you're going to have good times too. And in the midst of it, if you always walk in love, like you'll always be able to see both sides of the fence. You'll always be able to make your way through. Just never give up, you know?
You're wise. A wise woman here.
Oh, I'm still learning.
Wow. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on with yourself and with the band, like now, like today? Like when did that CD come out?
That CD came out, I think it was 2014.
Oh, gosh.
So just over a year now.
So is there more stuff do you have a backlog of stuff? Or are you writing new stuff?
We wrote a lot of new things like since that CD came out, and like more and more and more new stuff, you know, always comes through. So It's always, you never know. You never know what to expect. That much I can say.
But there is new work out there being worked on. New music being worked on.
Well, yeah, there was a lot presented at this last show, so we'll see. We'll see what happens in the near future as far as that goes.
Okay, now how can our listeners find you if they want to get the book or if they want to check out the band?
Yeah, if you were to just do a Google search for The Red Revolution, you'd have to add the. You can either go to theredrevolution.net, and right on our homepage is a Reverb Nation music player, and that has all the songs that are on the CD. So you can go there, or you can go directly to Reverb Nation, and it's Reverb Nation, probably / the Red Revolution, and then that's our whole profile site right there.
Perfect.
But I know we're in the mix of getting on iTunes and all of that. We went through CD Baby to get published, kind of the backroom style here in Buffalo. That's how we roll. But yeah, they can do that. Even if you were to go to either of those sources too, Facebook, we're on Facebook, pretty much any social media sources you'll find at least me, and then all the information about the band and all of our resources online.
Wonderful. Do you have any shows coming up or no?
Nothing booked as of yet, no.
Okay. All right.
No.
I had a good taste myself, and I'll be looking forward to catch you guys out
All
there again
right. Yeah.
live. Did we miss anybody with shout-outs? Did we get all the
Oh,
shout-outs
no, I
in?
do. I got a couple shout-outs. I got a shout-out to Steve, a little shout-out to Jules and my nephews and my mom, and a little shout-out to my girl Susie at Indoor Air, because there's one thing I want to say. With every breath you take. That's the company I work for. Other than that, just shout out to Nemingha. I love you, brother. You stick by me no matter what. Keith, Henry, and all my friends and family that support us. Thank you so much.
That's wonderful. We are just about done. We're going to close out with a song if we can. And I wanted to wish you guys Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and whatever it means to you.
Amen.
I hope that you really enjoy it, and I hope that you love yourself and love your life and
love each other, right?
And yeah.
Yes.
And do that. And hug often, because
Hug often. Yeah, we
it's
were
so
doing it at the
good.
show. Did
Yeah.
you get a hug too?
I did. I made
that was
sure.
Lauren's idea. Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah, this song I think we're going to play is called Roll Call. It's about stepping up in your community and being who you should be.
Is it number 3?
I think so.
That's not the CD, not the book.
Yeah, that is number 3, Jess.
All right, guys. So thank you so much
you,
for
Susie.
listening, and you're welcome. And I will see you again, in the new year. Happy New Year, everybody.
Calling all of men. Fear is back again. The sun will rise, and then you will face an end. Calling all of you to thine own self, be true. God cannot lose, yeah. A light shining through. Stand out give up. Hope is not lost. Oh yeah, oh yeah. But listen, children, you've been brought up by angry men. Companion mourning. See the truth as the sun rises. There's pain in what I speak. I sense sudden defeat. Ooh, but you can't fight or fly. When there's thorns in your feet, stand out and won't you speak up? All is not lost, so don't you give up. Stand out and won't you speak up? All is not lost. Dream if you want to dream, hope if you want to hope, but don't give up. All is not lost. Dream if you want to dream, hope if you want to hope, but don't you give up. All is not lost. Stand out and won't you speak up? All is not lost.